1972, the first year of your 40-year journey to Master Shipbuilder status. It was also a year of many other firsts, both in the shipyard and outside the gates. The first of a new class of nuclear supercarriers was launched, the USS Nimitz. Likewise, the keel was laid for the USS Los Angeles, the first of a new class of nuclear submarines. Outside the yard, the first construction steps began on a new 6-story general office complex, now known simply as Building 520. Other 1972 firsts included introduction of the first handheld calculator, the HP 35, at the amazing price of $325. The Goodyear blimp made its first flight, and Richard Nixon became the first president to visit China. The first episode of MASH aired on NBC, and the Miami Dolphins became the first NFL team to go undefeated an entire season. And when you first stepped through the gates in 1972, you found a shipyard bustling with production. Besides the carrier Nimitz, there were 3 nuclear-guided missile cruisers, 2 Sturgeon-class nuclear attack subs, and the second Los Angeles-class sub, the Baton Rouge, all under construction at the same time. The sights, the sounds, the people. For most, it was an intimidating introduction to shipbuilding.
What have I got myself into? This was a huge place, and first ship I went on was the Nimitz, new construction. And the first day I was down there, I got lost.
It was like, I was in awe, like, wow, how big this shipyard is.
I don't know, I didn't know what it was. I thought I was in the Iron City or somewhere. I didn't know why I was there.
It was huge. And back in those days, there was much work going on. So you can work as much as you want and as hard as you want.
Kind of an intimidating place. It was big, lots of people, didn't know any of them.
What have I done? It was amazing. It was big. Everything was so big, and just, I mean, you were stepping over railroad tracks, you were watching for cranes, you were watching for people on bicycles, and I was thinking, what have I got into?
Some of you thought you were just passing through, on your way to other careers.
Passing through, just looking for work. Came from West Virginia, so there wasn't a lot of opportunity there. Saw the opportunities here, decided to take advantage of them, and never planned to be here 40 years. Just wanted to get in there and get my feet wet and see where I wanted to go. 19 years old, didn't know.
Didn't really know how long I would stay, but I thought, 5-10 years would be the best. And before I knew it, it was 40 years and it was here.
Oh, that saved my life when I came here. I was a single man, and I just came here riding through. Then I messed around and got married, and we started a family. And I told my wife, I'm going back to North Carolina, go back to Norfolk somewhere. I guess, no, you ain't going, because I was in Norfolk when I came here. I think I want to go back to Norfolk and live for a little while. I'd been over there a year or so and had a good time over there. She said, no, we're already here now. You might well stay here. So I ended up staying here, and I'm kind of glad I did, because it worked out real well.
However, like most of us before we realize it's happened, years have slipped by almost unnoticed.
The times that I worked on the ship with the crews and all, that just flew by. Some other times when I've been away from the ship somewhat, it was a little bit slower. But altogether, it's gone by very, very fast.
During the time that I was in trade school, the shipyard came and watched me well for about a half an hour or so. And they offered me a job. And I said, he asked me would I come? I said, sure. I said, as soon as I graduate, I'll come. So when I graduated, here I am. And I've been here ever since.
It's like during the day. If you're busy during the day, it's time to go home before you know it. And that's how that 40 years has been.
The next thing I realized, it was 25 years, and then somebody said, you're going to be here when you're having 40 years. And I said, nah, never happened. Bang, it happened. I wasn't expecting it.
Just one thing led to another, and before you know it, 40 years are gone.
1972 was a good time to become a shipbuilder, with a bustling downtown, hot cars to drive, and a good job.
You had People's Drug Store, Standard Drug Store, you had the banks, you had You parked on the avenue.
And we would go downtown to Woolworths and eat lunch, and it was busy during that time.
Sears was still down here. I think Nachman's was still here. Several of the department stores were along Washington Avenue that have all gone now.
Oh, it's pretty well different, a lot different. We used to have them when I first came here. We had the hour lunch, had a bunch of city buses running, bringing people in. Everybody worked pretty much the same shift.
Downtown back in those days, it was booming. Had Grants and Sears and everything right over town. Had all the movies, theaters over town. Matter of fact, a lot of time from my house, I used to walk across the bridge to come to this side to enjoy myself.
Of course, back then, every dream of everybody was go get a new car, and I did. I got a 1972 Monte Carlo. Ordered it, got it brand new, and so I was happy to get that new car and didn't know what to do with it. It was just a wonderful thing to have. And it attracted girls, believe it or not.
Oh, along there, that was in '72, and the most Chevrolet was pretty hot. More Chevelles and the Chevettes. That's what I always wanted, but I never got one. I had a '69 Chevrolet, but I never got that '72 Vet, that '72 Chevelle I wanted. But anyway, Chevrolet was the hottest thing for me.
I had a Roadrunner. I would begin to hop it up a little bit, put a high-rise intake and everything on it, and then price of gas went through the roof. Cut it out. I said, that's it.
We were wearing the mini skirts and the bell-bottom pants, and so I was into fashion at that time. I kind of spent my first paycheck on get me some duds to wear to work and that kind of thing. So,
just what is it about being a shipbuilder, this company, and what we do that has made 289 employees hired in 1972 stay for 40 years?
Every place that you work for is not going to be to your liking in every respect. But you have to make the best of what you have. And if you put in the best of your ability, you will soon find out that you will be rewarded in the end.
My career been good. Like I said, I've never been laid off in the whole 40 years. I think I missed one day out of work with no pay in 40 years, and that was during the Christmas shutdown. Other than that, it's been pretty good for me. I don't think I could went nowhere and did much better, so I'm pretty satisfied.
It was never really work. It was fun. Of course, I was tired and dirty from it, but I enjoyed it so much I never considered it to be work. I always thought it was fun. I just can't say enough how satisfying it is to put things together and watch them perform as they should later.
Well, there's a sense of pride, a sense of accomplishment, that I had my mark on that ship, that I helped build that ship or overhaul it, and then to see it, in the news or out there, it is a sense of pride, and I would want to make sure that that ship is put together like it was being built for me.
I would just like to say that if you ever get the opportunity to serve your nation in this fashion, jump to it, because it's some of the best thing you can ever do. And I want to be part of this country and this nation, doing what I can for it. And this is just one of the ways that good Lord gave me the opportunity to do so.
Shipbuilders of 1972, tonight we celebrate your success, share your pride, and congratulate you. You have earned the respect of your leaders and your peers, and the privilege to be called Master Shipbuilder.